Anything any player or anything stand out to you in this game?
How can we not go to Sam? And I know John wanted to dig deep on this too.
Yeah.
But we know the Garden's gonna love this guy. They were on their feet every time he shot, and regardless of who it is, I get the excitement here. I get the Celtics excitement now. And I see some real growth from him. And I was keeping an eye on some of the tape from last year and things he did up in Maine, because we didn't see a lot of him, right? He didn't even really get a chance on last year's roster. And for him to come out, and we know how hard it is to come off the bench and shoot and produce with just a couple looks, right? He's just nailing them. And we've seen him do this every time he comes off the bench for garbage time or whatever it is, a couple minutes here or there. He just gets the ball, fires, and makes it. And it's unreal. And we've seen some great shooters come up, not so much on this team, but around the league. And he looks like he's a legit prospect. They're going to get him open looks. He's open pretty much on all of these. And for him to give you the little quick rotation where he can extend, let's say the starters give you a 5-point lead to a 10, 12, 14-point lead with a couple big shots. That's basically what he's done through these first two preseason games here. And they find places to hide him defensively. I don't feel like he's going to have a significant role on the defensive end, but if the other team has a guy who's just going to be shooting threes, standing at the line, he can guard that guy and he can rotate a little bit. And they're not switching as much to start this year. So I think that's conducive to his success too, is not having to switch on the guards or big men and stuff like that. This is super encouraging.
What did he say after the game? Because you were in there, I think, in the interview, correct?
Yeah, he talked a little bit about how he's using the same mechanics, not too many adjustments growing into the success here. Like, he's just leaning on the same release he always had. He's got the Virginia connection with Brogdon, so maybe that's a little something that's helping them connect often there. But overall, they're stressing some defensive principles. He's getting them. They feel comfortable playing him. And he's got to be super confident right now, the way he's shooting. 9 of 11 to start his preseason here with this team from 3. That's just ridiculous. I mean, we see guys get open looks. Would Justin Jackson have like 3 great open looks down the stretch and miss?
Don't start. Don't.
For Hauser,
we're not talking about Justin Jackson.
We're not talking about
for Hauser. Yes,
for his benefit, we're not going to talk about
exactly.
They're open shots. Oh no, I didn't know it was that bad.
Oh, we did. But
you shouldn't have. You really shouldn't
no,
have.
No, come on.
Get
that
that
off the banner.
Get that out.
Back to Hauser.
The man's trying to get a job here.
We're focusing on the positive.
Well, here's the thing about Hauser, though. The cool thing about Hauser is that he's not settling. And by that, I simply mean he's not just walking out there and say, I'm a 3-point shooter, so I'm going to just take threes. He's putting the ball on the floor. He's actually, moving the ball when the shot isn't there directly. He's playing like an all-around good player, and opportunities are going to come. I mean, the big thing that he does is that he puts opponents in a pick-your-poison scenario. You either play him straight up, which gives Jalen and Jason more opportunities and the other scorers to attack, but if you don't respect him and you play off him, like Toronto did in the first half, I thought, he's going to make you pay. And that's his ability to create space for himself and others. Again, that's what the really good shooters do, but the great ones are able to do that and recognize opportunities to get easy buckets, because 3-point shot is an easy shot, but guess what? A layup is an even easier shot. And Hauser is recognizing, if I can put the ball on the floor a little bit better, get a little bit closer to the basket, defenses are going to be so drawn into me. I'm going to have opportunities to beat guys off the dribble. And I don't need to be Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum and do that. I can just be Sam Hauser and be effective. And that's, I think, what we've seen so far. How much will we see once the games really count? That remains to be seen.
Who's Duncan Robinson? He's not. He's trying to prove
I'm gonna
he's
tell
not
you now,
Duncan
though.
Robinson. He's trying to prove that he's
better.
Not Duncan Robinson. That's what I'm saying.
He's a better scorer than Duncan. Duncan, I believe, is a better shooter than Sam. But Sam is a better scorer because Sam didn't have to, basically get his ass cooked before he realized I need to be more than just a 3-point shooter. Duncan was a defensive liability every time he got on the floor.
That's kind of what we heard Hauser would have been, but it doesn't. You don't see that right now.
And I think part of that is because that was part of the reason why they didn't play Sam much last year. I don't think defensively he was ready to be solid at that end of the floor and be great shooting the ball. I think this year he is ready for that.
And they don't have to play him every night. If there's a team like the Warriors where it's going to be super hard for him to guard, he can use less of them that night. And if there's a team like Toronto here that's not going to pick you apart with shooting, I think he outshot Toronto from three himself here. So you can use him in a matchup like that. They can play some drop defense and just do little things to help hide him. Like, he's not a disaster defensively. Like, he can hold his own. He's 6'8". He's got length. We've seen him make some plays on that end to start this game, and that's their identity. So they're going to want guys on the floor who can defend, but you have to find some balance, and I think they've done a really good job of that so far. To your point, Sherrod, super surprising seeing all this cutting from him. Turnaround jumpers in the post. He hit a runner to tie this game and take the lead and one late. So there's definitely more in his bag. I think people are surprised to see than just threes. He has a nice post-up game. He has kind of a lot of the tools Gallinari had. And I'm not saying he's Gallinari, but he has some of the same tools if you look at their game side by side. Now, he's going to lean more in on that three-point shot because that's his job here. But nice to see him in the preseason where you want to try different stuff, right? Do those different things and succeed. Those shots inside the arc late were great, I thought.
Yeah, and Bobby, I don't think they're going to worry as much about hiding him as I think we were anticipating, because as long as he is doing the great stuff offensively as far as spacing the floor for himself and the other guys, that his best defense is going to be great offense, I believe. Not only in terms of his own shot making, but also the shots that he's able to help create for his teammates when he's on the floor. And defensively, he's not as bad as I thought. I mean, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm looking at the guys that he's being asked to defend. Remember, when he's on the floor, chances are he's probably going to be guarding maybe at best, the third best scorer for the opponent. And that player will most likely have some type of limitations, whether it's they can't dribble well or they can't shoot. But he's going to have an opportunity to be on the floor because who he's defending probably won't be the best offensive threat out there. And if teams start making it a point of trying to to go at him specifically, if I'm the Celtics and I have my defense, I don't mind your third option trying to be your number one option. In fact, I would try to draw you into doing that, because that's, in the long run, that is going to work out to your advantage, because you're going to realize really quick that Sam is not nearly as turnstile easy pass defensively as some other guys, who are known as snipers.
A little bit more.
We'll see. We know guys get hunted in the regular season, so I want to see a little bit more against some better teams. I have a lot of respect for Toronto, but not offensively. And Charlotte, I thought, was just terrible on Sunday. So you'll see those same teams again, of course, to rotate out the preseason here. But Philly, game one, that's a good test. Miami, even Orlando's got some guys that can score and be a threat. So seeing him in those early regular season games, I'm excited for. And he's going to play, right? There's no doubt about it. You see a guy do this in the preseason, he has earned his rotation spot, hasn't he?
I think so. I think he has. And again, the one thing that he's consistently done in the first couple of games is knock down open shots. And those open shots are going to be there once the regular season starts because of the spacing concerns that other teams have when you have a Jaylen Brown and a Jason Tatum, and Al Horford who has the inside-outside game.
That was something Jaylen said in the locker room tonight. The spacing's great. Our spacing's the biggest reason we're getting the offensive output we are right now. And Hauser's certainly part of that. You mentioned Brogdon's role in that. They have a lot of floor spacing and shooting on the floor in these lineups.